Hi, I'm Cherian Kuruvila here, talking again on leadership. Just last week I had spoken about a topic about leadership being a mindset and much more. And it's not about being a title, right? So today what I'm going to talk about is one aspect of what I covered in the previous video, and that's about high performance leadership behaviors. High performance leadership behaviors, which are called strategic behaviors. Why strategic, right? Why do we think behaviors are strategic? Right? Generally, when we talk about strategy, we think about a lot of other things. It's about business, it's about structure, it's about other things. But I think that leadership behaviors can be extremely strategic to the success of the leader as well as success of the team and success of the organization. Right? So, just to build a little bit more on strategic behaviors, right? One of the things I normally ask my participants or my clients is think back at your career and think back at who has been the most strategic leader that you have come across in your career over the last 10, 15, 20 years, right? And most of them would have worked with multiple leaders, multiple bosses. And they say, yeah, I like this particular person. So I said, what do you like about that particular person? And say, no, he or she was very good at this. He or she was very good at influencing people. He was very good at communicating, very good at driving a vision, very good at building energy, right? So when we start putting all those good qualities of leaders that they have personally experienced, who could be role models for them, it throws up a lot of areas where they could imbibe some of those qualities. So talking about strategic behaviors, I think what we normally talk about is there are 5 elements to strategic behavior. The first one is what you call the thinking behavior. As a leader, how well do you think? How strategic are you? Are you able to come up with a long-term vision? Are you innovative? Are you creative? Right? Are you able to see the big picture slightly longer term? A lot of people are very good operationally, very good short term, but ask them to come up with a 1-year strategic plan and they struggle, right? So the thinking behavior, I think, is a very important part of a leadership behavior. Right? The second one is what is again a very important part of a leadership role is the developmental behavior. In terms of, as a leader, how well do you develop your team? How well do you empower them? How well do you encourage them? How well do you sort of make them take accountability? How do you make them evolve to a stage where they can handle bulk of the work that is coming to you, right? You can actually delegate a lot of the work to them. So that's the developmental behavior. A lot of leaders like to keep the control to themselves and hence don't develop their team members enough, right? So that's the second point. The third one is, as a leader, how good are you on inspiration? Are you an inspirational leader? Are you able to really, inspire your team? Are you able to bring in that kind of energy when you enter the room, the kind of happiness that they like working with you, right? They all feel that, when you've come into the office, there's a huge difference in the output that they themselves can deliver. And today, bringing that in a virtual context is even more. How do you inspire them to stay positive, stay committed, stay loyal, and keep doing the work that is required? So inspirational behavior is very, very important. Being serious and boring is not going to be very inspirational, right? The fourth one, which I think most leaders do, is the achievement behavior in terms of how achievement oriented are you, right? If you're on the business side, it's always about targets and revenue and profits and stuff like that. But if you are in the technical side or if you're on the functional side, it's about, are you delivering the output that is expected from you, which is the operational side of it. Now, a lot of leaders are able to get this operational side going. They're able to get their results going, but they're not necessarily doing the other 2 or 3 areas too well. Right? That's important. Right? And the fifth one is really the adaptive behavior. Right? How well are you able to adapt? How well are you able to adjust to different environments, different bosses, different industries, different roles, or different situations like what we're having right now with the corona, because everything has gone online and virtual, and suddenly the world that you knew in 2019 does not exist in 2020, right? So how quickly are you able to adapt and say, okay, fine, the situation has changed, so we'll also change and we'll get going. The show has to go on, right? So to me, just to sum it up once again, I think there are 5 high performance leadership behaviors. The first one is the thinking behavior. The second one is the developmental behavior. The third one is the inspirational behavior. The fourth one is the achievement behavior. And the fifth one is the adaptive behavior. When you put all these behavioral styles put together, you'll find that there are some leaders who are very good in 2 of those 5 areas, but not so great in 2 of the 5 areas as well. Now, I think this is a good framework to really look at where do you think you're doing well and where do you think you're not doing so well, so that all these facets to put together can really make you a more strategic kind of a leader who can actually become a much larger asset to the organization, who is not just somebody who gets the work done, but somebody who gets the work done along with the team, grows the team, right? Inspires the team, sees the big picture, communicates clearly, and is able to be flexible and adaptable and nimble and agile. If you use all those words, that's adaptability, right? So when all these behaviors which I talked about, IQ, EQ, SQ, AQ, right? And the final one I think is also HQ, which is happiness quotient, right? At the end of it, are you happy with what you're doing? Is your team happy with what you're doing? Is your organization happy with what you're doing? Are you creating the right kind of energy, that kind of vibes? So strategic leadership to me is all about being able to start improving on all those 5 behaviors and not just being good at 2 or 3.